Hi guys, good morning. It's morning here anyway, and ooh, it's thundering. So we're supposed to have storms today. So here they come. So you know I love to craft on, well, I love to craft on rainy days. I don't know if I've told you that, but I love crafting on rainy days. So today we're gonna make this beautiful tuck spot cluster for my French tea journal that I'm working on for Anne, and she has an Etsy shop, Odulcina, where she sells the digital for this journal. She also has a YouTube channel, which is Odulcina Scrap Anne. So hi Anne, and we're gonna make this pretty cluster together, and then we're gonna make a little journaling card from some of the things in her kit. So I'm just going to move this, and before I get started, I'm going to show you what I put in the journal. I put this pretty, excuse me, picture of the Eiffel Tower, and it's on a glassine bag, and it's one of the flip bags where I made the flip. And this process, how I made this little flip glassine bag, is on another video that I've recently done. So I will link that in the description box. So I put that in. And so this little cluster, I think, will go here. And we're going to stick a journaling card in there. So that's what we're going to do today. And I've already put out the laces. So basically when I made this, I just put the same laces aside because y'all see the very end of my process and you don't see all of the tornado of laces that I go through to do even something small like this. You're seeing the last 5 minutes of something that's probably taken me 45 minutes to come up with. So hold on just a minute. I've got to find my little piece of paper. I didn't lay that out. So thanks for waiting. I found my little piece of paper. So I'm going to use a stapler to staple this together, believe it or not. So it's backed on a piece of just scrap cardstock. So this is a scrap from where I was using the kit. And I just layer the laces and then I staple them to the cardstock. So I have them going backwards. So this was the first layer. Actually, I am gonna place them here so I can make sure I've got the right size, because this is a little big. All right, so I'm gonna cut this down a little bit. All right. Okay, there's that. So I'm gonna put that at an angle. Then I've got this layer. All right. Then I have this little piece of sari silk. Just gonna kind of lay it down. Then I have this little scrap. I'm gonna add this. It's just it's actually a piece of lace that I cut off the journal where I covered the cover in just a layer of lace. So I'm going to kind of lay this down. I think it needs to go that way. All right. And I'm going to put one staple on it just to hold it at this point because it's getting to be too much for me to hold. I'm just going to make a little bit of an adjustment here. All right. So that's holding. And this one is a little different from that one. No two are ever the same. But it's just basically just a process, and they all will turn out fine. All right, there's a little piece of eyelash trim I'm going to put here, and it just kind of will hang down. And then this is a piece of a doily, the very edge of a doily. And I'm just going to, just like that, and I'm just going to fold it in a little circle. I think I want a tighter circle. Almost makes like a rosette. And I'm going to put it here. Make sure I'm stapling this eyelash trim. Yeah. And let that kind of, maybe not. Okay. So I'm going to put another staple. All right. So I'll let this hang down a little bit. I love eyelash trim. It adds the right touch of softness to things lots of times. Alrighty. So, so there's kind of the base. And I just let it flow freely. But if that doesn't suit your journal or suit whatever you're using it for, you could always glue these down. But I usually just let mine be free. All right, so at this point, we could put all kinds of things on it. I had my heart set on using a cameo in this journal. I just thought it looked like it needed a cameo, and I loved them. But anything could go here. Just a simple rosette would be really pretty here. A flower, that would be really pretty there. Even a bow. I have a bow laid out somewhere. But anyway, even just a plain bow would be pretty there. And generally I glue this last thing on so that you don't see a staple. So I have this pretty cameo. It's different from the other one because I didn't have another one of the other one. And I'm just going to thread a piece of seam binding through the cameo. And then tie it. All right. So I'm going to put this here, where it's kind of nestled in this little rosette looking thing we made. All right, I think I'm going to put another staple right here. It's not laying exactly the way I want it to lay. All right. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to take my art glitter glue and glue that in. I put a good bit because it's going to soak, it wants to soak into those layers of lace. And I just glue the ribbon itself in. And I'm going to let the cameo just hang free. Then I'm just going to give my seam binding a little trim. This way. That's a little long, but I might go back and trim that. I've learned I can always trim more, but I can't add more. So I'll leave it. If I have to err on this side of something, I'll err on the side of it being too long. So that is how I make that little cluster. And it's going to just be a tuck spot in the journal. So what I want to do is make a journaling card for this little tuck spot. So I have some of the, oh, there's my bow. I have some of the images that are in the digital, and I've already kind of laid this out. This is a pretty piece from one of the papers, and it's so pretty, and I apologize, I'm going to cover a lot of that up. This is a piece in the ephemera, and I love the pop of color, but y'all know I usually am just pinks and beiges and tea-stained colors, and I definitely don't have any red ribbon, so I'm going with like a rosy beige ribbon, and I'm going to put this pretty image of this couple, this vintage couple, on here. And I'm going to focus the decor on the bottom because I know it's going to be tucked in this. And so I don't really need the bulk up there for tucking. So so my goal is to get it to tuck. And you see this when it's done. So I'm just going to glue. I've already cut these, and then I just rounded them with my corner rounder and inked them. So I'm going to glue this colorful page down. It's going to add a lot to this because it's muted enough not to overpower something, but it adds a lot of color. And then I'm going to add this here. And that's another piece of that lace I just stapled into the cluster. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there. And then I'm going to add this image. All right. So normally if I wasn't going to tuck it, I would finish something on the top. But since this one is going to be tucked, I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to put some glue here because all right. And then this is just a scrap piece of lace from making that glassine bag this morning. So I'm just going to put this down here. This is still not wanting to hold. Come on. All right. So we're going to put this here. And then I'm just going to finish it off with a bow from the seam binding. I'm kind of having to coax this bow into submission because I just want it to hang down. You know, a button would be pretty there too, I think. All right. So let's look at what we've made today. We're going to put this right here, and there will be the journal card, and then I'll just glue the very top of this on the page. So I'm just going to glue this little bit here, and I'm just going to glue it to the very top, and then this will tuck right in, and that makes a beautiful journal page. You know, it's really, this, I was thinking, and I haven't tried this, so I want to see how it looks. That same process would even be a pretty journal cover. You could put another layer, maybe another piece of paper back there. or even another larger piece of lace, and it would make a pretty journal cover. Look. Oh, that would be pretty. So this process can be used actually for a journal cover. I know this is kind of bulky, and I am guilty of adding some bulky things to a journal, but I like the three-dimensional aspect of the charm. So I enjoyed crafting with y'all this morning, and I hope you enjoyed the cluster process. And you know, I can always go and I'll just play with this a little more. But it's just a real pretty touch to add to the journal. And I want to thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel. I actually, right before I started this video, I hit 50 subscribers. And I'm totally humbled that anyone would want to see anything I do. I was terrified to do YouTube, and I really thought the only person that would watch me is my mom, my sweet mom. But you guys have just encouraged me and been so sweet in your comments, and I probably would not have kept doing this at all without that. So I am so grateful to you guys who've subscribed to me so far. So I hope you have a good day. And I hope you have fun making some little clusters. Leave a comment below of things you use the clusters for. Because I would love to know other ways to use clusters. So, happy crafting, and always remember to embellish the story. See you soon.